A couple things I've noticed after watching the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is the fact that we might get Man Spider, something that I don't think has really been on the big screen like that, or even at all, but something's going on with Peter. Even he's saying that he's losing his mind towards the beginning of the trailer. And then when he's fighting Scorpion, after they have history, after Scorpion got locked up because of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming, he proceeded to grab Scorpion's tail and completely yeet the dude into a front of a oncoming police car. But then he's surprised that he did it. Like, he didn't know that it happened. Like, he wasn't aware what was going on. So it's kind of fascinating. He's losing control of his actions as well, but then he's also shocked about what he's doing. So then we get a shot of the hand where it's kind of them fighting Peter, but since they're in the prison and everything, it's going to be interesting to see Matt Murdock potentially be in here, because Daredevil Born Again Season 2 ended up with Matt Murdock revealing his identity to the entire world and then being locked up. So if we do get the hand, we're going to have to get Matt Murdock, because it make no sense for them to have the hand in the movie with no Daredevil whatsoever. So, I mean, that'll be kind of cool to see. Another thing is that there's no face shell in Spider-Man's mask. It's just straight up which would make sense, because since his entire suit is low technology, it's just straight up just spandex, which is the look that they were going for. I do like it, and it looks pretty comic accurate. It looks like something Alex Ross would do. And speaking of something that Alex Ross would do, Alex Ross actually tweeted about the Spider-Man Brand New Day artwork and everything. And personally, Alex Ross is one of my favorite when it came to the painting and the coloring of the heroes, which is kind of cool. But then we also get organic webbing, but the organic webbing seems a lot more powerful. I mean, the organic webbing was so powerful to the point where Peter's synthetic web shooters just shot out, just shot off, and they were blasted off by the organic webbing. But then we get the web blossom. And another thing that I really like about this trailer is the fact that we get a lot of callbacks to the PS4 game. Aunt May's gravestone saying, when you help someone, you help everyone, which is something that the Aunt May from the PS4 game said to Peter. A lot of cool references, a lot of cool things going on, a lot of cool callbacks. I really like it, because I still think that Spider-Man PS4 is one of the best aging superhero games of all time. And I do think it's better than Spider-Man 2. So yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2 didn't even have DLC for that game. So what a waste of anticipation. Oh man, but the web blossom on the big screen is going to look so cool. But it just makes me think that since we're getting all these promotionals and the promotional poster, it even has Spider-Man going and taking on Scorpion, the Hand, and the Hulk, and it just makes me think about Spider-Man No Way Home trailer when it just had Tom Holland Spider-Man taking on a part of the Sinister Six in the trailer. But then when you get to the actual movie, there's Toby and Andrew Spider-Man. So it just makes me think about possibly Daredevil's being edited out of the trailer until we get the theatrical release of the movie, which is going to be really cool. Another thing, I truly think that Will Metzger, or Bill Metzger from this trailer, is going to be the main villain of the movie, because it's clear that Jean Grey's the person in the dark green and the yellow. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, yeah, but he says that, there are forces that we can't control. So I'm pretty sure that he's talking about any type of mutant, any X-Men, anything related to that in the trailer, because he probably ended up doing some experiments on Dark Phoenix. It's just obvious that she's Dark Phoenix. It even got to the point to where when she was on the red carpet for Spider-Man, she was wearing green and yellow, which is Dark Phoenix's entire color scheme. Like, her famous color scheme is green and yellow. So yeah, it's just like she knew what she was doing, putting on those colors. She puts on a psychic blast over New York, but the only people who seem to not really be bothered are Frank Castle and Spider-Man. MJ is brought to Frank Castle for protection, because Spider-Man, he doesn't kill, but he also wants MJ to be safe, so he's just he knows where to go to have MJ be protected, which is Frank Castle. Frank Castle being immune, I want to see why, because he doesn't have any powers. He's just an angry man with a vengeance. So Also, we get a look at the Hulk 18 years since we've gotten the Thunderclap, which was beautiful to see. I think that this is probably the best the Hulk has looked in a long time. Another thing that I've noticed is that in this shot right here, it looks kind of similar to one of the Amazing Spider-Man comics, which I think is kind of cool how they just keep recreating comic covers with certain fight scenes in there too. We also got Miles Morales being mentioned, not mentioned, but kind of hinted at. Could this be a Latino parkour prodigy, be the web swinger? We had the Prowler say that he has a nephew out here, and that, he even called Miles, and that was in Spider-Man Homecoming. So that's definitely a tease towards Miles, which is really cool to see. Another thing, honestly, I thought that the guy who was being mind controlled at first was Miles, because he sounded like he could play Miles, but no, it was just a random guy on the street. But dude, I truly thought that was Miles for a second, but now it's just a regular guy walking by Peter. And then we get MJ going on to trust Spider-Man, because it's obvious that people forgot about Peter Parker, but it's clear that they still didn't forget about Spider-Man. So she trusts Spider-Man, and then she goes to web swing with him. But it's just interesting that probably she'll end up remembering Peter Parker as time goes on, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I picked up on is that this might be the biggest that the Hulk has gotten, because Peter Parker's been around the Hulk before. But then in this trailer, he says that this is the biggest that I've ever seen you. I didn't know you can get this big. And before he got, thunderclapped out of the building and everything. But it just makes me think, like, they're probably going to make the Hulk forget about Spider-Man. But at the same time, I mean, he wouldn't be attacking Spider-Man if he remembered who he was. It's kind of interesting that, in this trailer, we see that MJ remembers who Spider-Man is, or probably just trusting him just because. But the Hulk is trying his best to destroy Spider-Man. So it's just interesting to see that dynamic between them two. I'm just looking forward to if we're going to get Hulk versus Spider-Man in the movie. Now that would be sick, because I mean, also another thing that I hope for, which has nothing to do with this movie, is Wolverine versus the Hulk on the big screen. I would really love to see that. Another thing that I really like about the suit is the fact that we finally have raised webbing. Like, the suit isn't a CGI doll like it was from 2016 to 2020. I mean, hell, since even No Way Home had that problem. I mean, even the gold spider wasn't even real. It was CGI'd over the actual practical suit. So to see a spider suit when it's just a spider suit instead of just CGI crazy and it looks like a doll, I'm just glad that they went the practical route. Even the web swinging in this movie is practical. I heard months ago, even last year, to the point where they're doing so many things by themselves that Tom Holland and one of his stunt doubles had a concussion. So that means that they must have been going hard in the paint to make this movie look as great as possible. And I'm honestly here for it. Spider-Man, even Tom Holland said that he wants to be a mentor to Miles Morales in the MCU down the line. And since we know that he's canon due to Miles Morales being in the MCU, thanks to and we know this because the Prowler called his nephew, in a deleted scene, which I really wish they would have kept in the movie. This movie's looking like it's shaping up to be one of the best, and also it's the longest Spider-Man film that we're going to get. So yeah, it's going to be the longest Spider-Man film of all time. I'm pretty hyped for this movie. Another attention to detail that I really found funny is the fact that since Peter Parker's out of high school and everything, he's doing his stretches before he takes on the bad guys in the alley. I find that hilarious. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about your thoughts on the trailer and what you expect from Spider-Man Brand New Day.